Now, I will tell you that from what we've pulled together, here's how you strengthen a muscle, pulling all the research together. You need to facilitate purposeful muscle contraction. Well, guess what? Puttica, puttica, puttica has never been purposeful. All right? Nobody can figure out why they're having you do that. And we just, like, as the therapist, we may understand that it's purposeful. But if that client or child doesn't have a purpose for it, it's not going to do as much good. Through engagement, okay, there's got to be an intellectual grab to it, that they're into this, that they like this. Whoa. Okay, they need to like this. How many kids are getting therapy that they're screaming during it? All right. In a voluntary, functional activity. So you need to practice the actual movements of either speech or chewing and swallowing in a positively reinforcing, not negative reinforcement, trust-based environment. You're going to do it, you're going to like it. Yeah, you put all this together and they'll sail. Who is appropriate for oral motor therapy? Those with neuromuscular-based weakness, tone issues, those that we need to increase acceptance. So the aversive ones. We can do this work, making it fun. That's why we use the toys. That's why we use the colorful stuff. We want the engagement. For those that we need to increase awareness, we've got hyposensitivity. And for facilitating motor planning. All right, who should we not use it with? Well, you should never address just the motor without the sensory. And that has happened for years. Treating a sensory issue as purely behavioral. And I'll get into this when we get to this module. There's going to be a lot more research for the update of this module. But behavior is communication. We've heard that, and that's a wonderful bumper sticker. The behavior is communication. And I have come to the conclusion that behavior is a symptom. I need to find the cause of the behavior. And we so get into labeling the behavior and trying to change it or stop it or expunge it, and we're not looking at why. Why is that happening? Treat the why. You do have to be careful about post-surgical healing time. And this is one of my really big screw-ups. I had a guy who had some tumor resection, something going on. I don't remember, but he had sutures under the tongue. And his surgeon was someone that we did not get along. There are very few people in this world that I can just not get along with because I really try. This guy, he was really short. Okay, so that tells you right away what his personality was like. I mean, he had a bunch of overcompensation.
Well, it's one thing for a woman to be short, but for a man.
Yeah.
So what are you saying?
And
But your red hair compensates.
it does. The red hair gets it. But I started exercises too soon. You know, he had done the order very begrudgingly because he didn't like to give orders for me. And I started them too soon. I had him doing, some stuff. And we went down for a modified barium swallow study because I wanted to see how he was doing and could we start food. And when I'm looking on there and I see barium here. And I go look at him and he's clean. And I'm looking back and there's this line of barium down here.
No.
It went through
the sutures down into the neck tissue.
How do you get that out?
You don't get that out. It will absorb eventually. And so, yeah, we stopped. And we went back upstairs and I was going, You know that moment when you're like, okay, now I'm going to have to go be a flight attendant, you know? And that's if I'm not going to jail. Everybody, just so y'all know out there, everybody has had moments like that. If you've been a therapist more than 2 years, you've had moments like that. And if you say you haven't, you're lying. So, just so you know the end of the story, unfortunately, so the guy who was covering for him was a really nice surgeon. And I told him what was going on, and I said, I'm so sorry. And he said, you can't know for sure that it was the exercises. It may well have been that the tissues were so fried from radiation that they would have done that anyway. So I was off the hook. But he actually ended up passing away. So I don't know how long it would have taken for the barium to absorb. But he had a lot going on. All right. Using oral sensory motor strategies for a language-based problem. That's the phonological. I want you to see this one. This is that same sweet little girl, and this is the Johnny Avon, OT, pediatric OT professor, and she's fantastic. And I want you to look at what's going on with Agatka, and that's her name, and I'm allowed to say it. What we wanted. They wanted Agatka to be working on her core. And so they want her to engage those muscles. Remember, engagement, voluntary, functional. So they're on the pony swing or the bolster. And you know that's a speech clinician because she's got bubbles, right? We are going to have bubbles in our caskets. What she did was she started blowing bubbles past her. And Agatka goes from here, and she wants to see the bubbles. So what's she going to do? She's going to get that core going and get up and look. Now, another thing that was going on was that you remember I told you she was real aversive? The bubbles start out coming over here, and then they get closer and closer till they're coming to her face. And they were the scented candy bubbles. So that anything, if it did hit her face, it was going to smell good and taste good. How many goals are we working on with one activity here? Okay? This is the beauty of co-treat.
What?
The beauty of co-treat.
Co-treating.
Co-treat. Oh, she's like, what is that? I know. Isn't that awful? I know. This is why I just want to do private therapy for free and, just give me a pig or something. All right.